Do you really know the secrets behind Halloween? How did this one night turn from an ancient ritual to a massive celebration filled with costumes, candy, and spooks? When I was a kid, Halloween was my favorite holiday, not just because of the candy. There was this unexplainable thrill in the air, a mystery I couldn't quite grasp. Now, years later, I've uncovered some unbelievable truths about Halloween's history and traditions. Stick around because by the end, you'll see Halloween in a whole new light, and it might just spook you out. Let's dive back 2,000 years to ancient Celtic lands where Halloween, or Samhain as it was known then, began. The Celts didn't see October 31st as just another night. No, they believed this was a mystical time, a night when the barrier between the living and the dead weakened. Villagers would gather around huge bonfires, wearing masks and costumes to disguise themselves from any vengeful spirits that might be wandering. You see, for them it wasn't about fun but survival. Over time, as Christianity spread through Celtic lands, Samhain didn't vanish, it evolved. Around the 8th century, Pope Gregory III moved All Saints' Day, also called All Hallows' Day, to November 1st. The night before, October 31st, became All Hallows' Eve, a time to remember and honor the dead. But the Celts held on to their old traditions, bonfires, costumes, and stories of spirits, blending their customs with new beliefs. So what was originally Samhain became a mysterious fusion of pagan and Christian practices, which laid the groundwork for the Halloween we know today. Let's talk about black cats. Ever wondered why they're such a Halloween icon? These cats were once thought to be the companions of witches, a symbol of bad luck, or even supernatural powers. In the Middle Ages, people feared black cats, believing they could be witches in disguise. This superstition still lingers today. Some folks avoid black cats around Halloween, believing they might bring bad luck. The association stuck, making these mysterious felines an essential Halloween symbol. Here's one for you. The story of the jack-o'-lantern didn't begin with pumpkins at all. According to Irish folklore, it all started with a man named Stingy Jack, a notorious trickster who even managed to deceive the devil. Jack was condemned to roam the earth with only a carved-out turnip and a burning coal to light his way. When Irish immigrants brought their traditions to America, they realized that turnips were hard to come by, but pumpkins were everywhere. Not only were pumpkins larger, but they were also much easier to carve. They quickly became the new standard for Halloween lanterns. And thanks to this simple swap, the pumpkin went from a harvest crop to a Halloween legend. Nowadays, carving pumpkins is almost a rite of passage. From friendly faces to ghastly grins, each one symbolizing a little piece of Halloween history. And thus, the jack-o'-lantern was born, a haunting reminder of Stingy Jack's eternal punishment. Trick-or-treating and its medieval roots. We all know trick-or-treating is a Halloween staple, but did you know it originated from a medieval tradition called souling? Back then, the poor would go door to door on November 1st, offering prayers for the dead in exchange for food. These soul cakes were small pastries meant to honor the souls of loved ones. Over centuries, souling evolved into our modern-day trick-or-treating. So, next time you're giving out candy, remember, you're continuing a tradition with roots that reach far deeper than you might think. How the Great Depression transformed trick-or-treating. Trick-or-treating as we know it gained popularity during the 1930s, around the time of the Great Depression. With families struggling to make ends meet, Halloween became an opportunity for a little escapism. Trick-or-treating provided children with a safe way to celebrate and enjoy the holiday. However, at the same time, some mischievous kids took the trick part to heart, playing pranks on neighbors who didn't participate. By the 1940s, community leaders began encouraging trick-or-treating as a fun, organized activity to keep kids out of trouble. And thus, our candy-centered Halloween tradition was cemented. The evolution of Halloween in America. After World War II, Halloween became a full-blown celebration in America. The baby boom sparked an explosion in trick-or-treating, and families began decorating their homes, dressing up and throwing Halloween parties. By the 1950s, Halloween had taken on a life of its own, blending its ancient roots with new American customs. Today, Halloween is a massive event, with parades, costume contests, haunted houses, and of course, an endless supply of candy. The economic impact of Halloween. Speaking of candy, did you know Halloween is a multi-billion-dollar industry? In the US alone, people spend over $10 billion on Halloween, from costumes to decorations to the mountains of candy that fill our trick-or-treat bags. It's become one of the biggest commercial holidays, only behind Christmas. That's right, a holiday that started with simple traditions has turned into a financial powerhouse. Halloween's status as a commercial giant. Halloween's commercial success doesn't stop with candy. Retailers stock their shelves with everything from fake cobwebs to animatronic witches, all because people are willing to go all out to celebrate. Companies have caught on to this, offering a vast range of products to turn every home into a haunted mansion. And while some may miss the simplicity of the old traditions, there's no denying Halloween's transformation into a major event has helped it thrive and grow with each generation. Haunted houses. When and why they became Halloween staples. When did haunted houses become a Halloween must? The answer lies in the 1970s. Haunted attractions started popping up as a way to safely enjoy the thrills of Halloween, especially for teenagers. Non-profit organizations like the JCs began setting up haunted houses to raise money, and soon the idea spread across the country. Today, haunted houses are a staple of Halloween entertainment, adding an extra layer of spooky fun to the holiday. Samhainophobia, or the fear of Halloween. Do you get anxious around Halloween? You might have samhainophobia, a real fear of Halloween. For some, the costumes, masks, and dark decor trigger feelings of unease or even terror. This phobia can be so intense that some people avoid all Halloween-related activities. So if you have a friend who's less than thrilled about spooky season, now you know, it might be more than just a dislike of costumes. Famous haunted locations associated with Halloween. Halloween wouldn't be complete without tales of real haunted locations, right? Some places have become so infamous for their hauntings that they're almost synonymous with Halloween itself. The Tower of London, for instance, is said to be haunted by the ghost of Anne Boleyn. And let's not forget the eerie Winchester Mystery House in California, built with endless hallways and staircases that lead to nowhere, supposedly to confuse the spirits. Or the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, the inspiration for Stephen King's The Shining. These sites have their own tales of terror, making them perfect destinations for those seeking a Halloween thrill. Halloween symbols, bats, witches, and spooky lore. Why are bats, witches, and bubbling cauldrons so closely tied to Halloween? Let's start with bats. These creatures of the night were often spotted near ancient Samhain bonfires, attracted by the insects drawn to the light. Over time, they became symbols of Halloween's spooky allure. As for witches, their image has evolved over centuries. In medieval Europe, witches were feared as those who communed with spirits, and by the 1600s, they were often depicted as cloaked figures, casting spells. Add in cauldrons for their potions, and witches became icons of Halloween's mystical vibe. The spread of Halloween beyond the US. Halloween may be huge in the US, but it's certainly not confined to American borders. In Canada, Halloween traditions are similar, with trick-or-treating and costume parties. Across the globe, Japan celebrates Halloween in a unique way, with parades and intricate costumes inspired by anime and pop culture. Meanwhile, Mexico's Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, honors ancestors with colorful altars and festivities. While not exactly Halloween, it shares similar themes of remembrance and connection with the afterlife, showing just how universal these customs have become. The influence of Halloween on popular culture. From Hocus Pocus to Halloween and the Addams Family, Halloween's influence on popular culture is enormous. The holiday has inspired countless movies, TV specials, and books that capture its spirit. These stories bring Halloween to life, mixing elements of fear and fun. Even beyond horror, Halloween has a way of sneaking into genres like comedy, romance, and adventure. It's a season that appeals to people of all ages, proving that there's something magical, mysterious, and endlessly inspiring about Halloween. Halloween foods and their symbolic meanings. Let's talk about Halloween treats. Halloween's foods each have their own unique meanings and origins. Take caramel apples, for example. Apples are linked to the Celtic harvest and to divination rituals, so they've long been associated with this time of year. Candy corn, love it or hate it, was originally called chicken feed and designed to represent the harvest. And then there's the soul cake, a small spiced pastry that ties back to the medieval souling tradition, when people would give cakes in exchange for prayers for the departed. Each bite has a story, showing us how even sweets can be steeped in history. Surprising superstitions tied to Halloween. Halloween is full of superstitions. Ever heard that you shouldn't look into a mirror at midnight on Halloween? Some believe you might catch a glimpse of your future spouse, or an unwelcome spirit. Breaking mirrors, crossing paths with a black cat, or walking under a ladder are all considered bad luck, especially on Halloween night. These superstitions remind us that Halloween has always been about balancing light-hearted fun with a touch of the unknown, letting our imaginations run wild. The mystery of Halloween's iconic colors. Have you ever wondered why Halloween is all about black and orange? The colors aren't random. They actually have deep roots in Halloween's history. Orange represents the fall harvest and the color of leaves and pumpkins, celebrating the season. Black, on the other hand, symbolizes darkness and the unknown, perfectly capturing Halloween's eerie vibe. Together, these colors create a striking contrast that reflects the spirit of Halloween: life and death, celebration and fear, all wrapped up in a vibrant, spooky package. How Halloween costumes have changed over time. Halloween costumes have come a long way. In the early 1900s, costumes were often handmade, with kids and adults dressing as ghosts, witches, and hobos. These early outfits were meant to be creepy, with masks and dark clothing that seemed to blend the wearer with the night. Today, Halloween costumes span every possible theme, from horror to pop culture, superheroes to historical figures. It's a fascinating evolution that shows how Halloween has grown to reflect the interests and creativity of each generation. Halloween's growing place in social media and meme culture. In recent years, Halloween has found a new home on social media. From spooky memes to costume tutorials, Halloween content takes over our feeds as October 31st approaches. And let's not forget the iconic Halloween challenges like skeleton dance videos or viral costume transformations. Social media has given Halloween a fresh, modern platform, allowing people worldwide to share their spooky creativity and connect over this beloved holiday. The psychology behind Halloween's appeal. Why do we love Halloween so much? Psychologists suggest that Halloween lets us safely explore fear. Dressing up, visiting haunted houses, and watching scary movies give us an adrenaline rush without real danger. It's a way to test our limits and enjoy a thrill in a controlled environment. Plus, Halloween lets us step out of our everyday selves, embracing creativity and letting our imaginations run wild. For one night, we can be anyone or anything. No wonder Halloween has such universal appeal. We've traveled through centuries, explored ancient rituals, uncovered eerie legends, and discovered just how much Halloween has changed over time. And let's be honest, there's something magical about how this holiday brings people together, whether through shared stories, dressing up, or just enjoying the thrill of a spooky night. But here's the real trick. Halloween reminds us to embrace the mystery, to laugh at our fears, and to celebrate our unique histories and cultures. It's a chance to step outside of ourselves and see the world a little differently, even just for one night. So, as you celebrate this Halloween, remember, whether you're carving pumpkins, dressing up, or sharing ghost stories, you're part of a tradition that's been uniting people for thousands of years. And who knows, maybe you'll start a new Halloween tradition of your own this year. If you enjoyed this journey, give us a like, subscribe, and join us for more adventures. Share your favorite Halloween memory in the comments. We'd love to hear what makes this season special for you. Until next time, stay curious, stay fearless, and most of all, stay wonderfully spooky. Happy Halloween.